Most people throw broken glasses away without a second thought. And that's actually a mistake, because in many cases, the damage isn't as bad as it looks. And with a few simple tools and a careful approach, you can bring them back to a solid, usable condition. In this video, I'll walk you through the process step by step, so you can fix your own glasses at home, save some money, and end up with something that feels strong and looks clean again. I start by removing the temple arms. Use a small Phillips screwdriver and turn slowly. These screws are tiny, and they can slip easily if you rush. I keep one hand steady on the frame and guide the tool with the other. Once the first screw comes out, I set it aside in a safe spot. Do the same on the other side. Now both arms are off, and the frame is easier to handle. At this stage, everything should feel loose but controlled. Now we move to something most people never think about, making a strengthening material from an old battery. I take a used battery and hold it firmly with pliers. I gently peel off the outer metal layer, work slowly here. Inside, there's another protective wrap. I use a utility knife to carefully cut through the plastic seal. Keep your fingers clear of the blade and take your time. Once the seal is removed, I grip the top of the battery with pliers and slowly pull the inner core out. That black rod inside is graphite. This is what we need. Before using it, I clean off any remaining residue. I wipe it down and make sure the surface is dry. Now I take a piece of coarse sandpaper and start grinding the graphite down into a fine powder. You don't need much, just enough to cover the repair area later. Graphite has a useful property. It can handle heat, and when combined with glue, it helps create a stronger bond. I set the powder aside. We'll use it in a moment. Next, I protect the lenses. I take a piece of tissue and fold it over each lens. This keeps them clean and safe from scratches while we work. Then I align the broken parts of the frame. This step is important. If the pieces are not lined up correctly now, the final result will look off. I place the frame on a flat surface and adjust it until everything sits in the right position. Once I'm satisfied, I use tape to hold the parts steady. I check it again from different angles. Everything should look straight before moving forward. Now comes the main reinforcement step. I take a strip of staples and separate a few pieces. I trim off the ends so I'm left with small metal segments. These will act like internal supports. I heat up a soldering iron and let it reach a steady temperature. Using tweezers, I place one metal piece across the crack. Then I press it gently with the heated tip. The plastic softens, and the metal sinks slightly into the surface. Once it cools, it locks in place. I repeat this process along the broken area, spacing each piece evenly. I don't rush. Each point needs to be set properly. Instead of repeating the same motion mindlessly, I focus on control, place, adjust, press, and hold. Each shibab has a purpose. This creates a reinforced structure that helps the frame hold its shape under pressure. You might wonder why this works so well. The metal pieces act like a bridge, distributing stress across the break. If you try this yourself, be careful with the heat. The soldering iron gets very hot and it can burn your skin quickly. I recommend wearing gloves and keeping your hands steady. Work in a well-lit area so you can see exactly where the tip is going. Later, when we add glue and graphite, it will fill the gaps and bind everything together. That combination creates a solid repair that can handle daily use. At this point, the frame already feels more stable. Now we move to strengthening the joint further. I apply a thin layer of superglue over the repaired area. While the glue is still wet, I sprinkle the graphite powder on top. Make sure it covers the entire joint. Then, I add another layer of glue over the powder. This creates a layered bond. I repeat this on both sides of the break. This step is simple, but it makes a big difference. The graphite fills small gaps and works with the glue to create a harder surface. Let it sit for a few minutes so it can begin to set. Now I make a simple sanding tool using two types of sandpaper, one coarse and one fine. I take a small wooden stick and first wrap the coarse sandpaper around it. I secure it with a bit of glue so it stays firm while I work. This will help shape and level the repaired area. Then I prepare a second piece using the fine sandpaper. I wrap it the same way on another side of the stick, or you can use a second stick if that feels more comfortable. This gives me better control when switching between shaping and smoothing. With these two surfaces ready, I can move from rough sanding to a clean finish without stopping or changing tools too much. I begin sanding the repaired area. At first, I use a rough grit to level out any raised spots. Move slowly and keep your strokes even. You're shaping the surface, not removing too much material. After a few passes, the area starts to look more uniform. Once the rough shaping is done, I switch to a finer grit sandpaper. I lightly spray a bit of water onto the surface. This helps reduce friction and gives a smoother finish. Now the sanding becomes more like polishing. Gentle pressure, consistent movement. You can feel the difference as the surface becomes smoother under your fingers. After sanding, I remove the tissue from the lenses. The frame is starting to look much better now. The repaired area blends in more naturally with the rest of the frame. Next, I prepare for painting. I take a small amount of black spray paint and spray it into a container. Then I use a cotton swab to apply it carefully over the repaired section. This helps restore the original color and makes the repair less visible. Apply it evenly and don't overload the surface. A thin coat works best. Let the paint dry for a few minutes. While waiting, I check the alignment again. Everything should still feel solid and straight. Now it's time to reassemble the glasses. I place the temple arms back into position and insert the screws. Tighten them slowly with the screwdriver. Don't force it, just enough to hold everything securely. Repeat on the other side. And now, take a look at the result. What started as a broken frame is now back in one piece. It feels stable, looks clean, and is ready to use again. This kind of repair won't take long once you understand the steps. It saves you money and gives you a practical solution using simple tools. If you found this helpful, share it with someone who might need it. And if you enjoy hands-on projects like this, consider subscribing for more simple and useful ideas.